Hey guys, welcome to Resilient Tarot. Welcome back. I wanted to hop on here and do a reading on what's been going on because we all know there's a lot going on. The planets are one, the eclipse is another, and I know I did a video on the retrogrades and the eclipse and all that, but now we've got flooding, we've got tornadoes, we've got tropical storms building, we've got hurricanes building, well, tropical storms turn into hurricanes. Los Angeles just had 2 earthquakes, and there's a possible third on its way. Hoping that it's not the big one, but wanted to touch in on that energy because I have family in LA. I've been thinking about moving there within the next couple of years. It's scary. I can handle, or so I thought, could handle tornadoes, you know, storms here in the Midwest. But I just encountered a tornado a couple weeks ago, and it missed my building where I'm at by just across the street, and we had no warning. And that's the thing that's scary, especially with an earthquake. You know, there's not much warning. And so it could strike at any time. And I've just had this feeling lately that the experts, the scientists, I don't think they know what the hell's going on anymore. I think Mother Nature's pissed. I think the earth is hurting and needs to heal itself, and this is how it does it. I think it's from all of the stuff we put Earth through. And being spiritual, you don't want to do that. You know, we try as being spiritualists to treat the earth with respect. And, you know, it goes as small as not littering or smoking or not driving your car as much, to big things like fracking and, you know, putting trash into the ocean. And not to get political, which I could, but I don't want to damper the energy too much with my own opinions. But the fact remains that, you know, the earth is hurt, and I can feel it. I'm sure there's other spiritualists that can feel it, and I'm sure a lot of you out there can feel it. I'm tired. I'm feeling drained, worn out, and it makes me wonder what Mother Earth feels like, you know, what our planet is going through. And the heat here last week was in the 100s index, and it got so bad that, you know, a beach or a pool didn't help. It's just so unbearably hot. And finally this week we've gone down a little bit. And I know that these things have been going on forever. You know, we've always had earthquakes, and we've always had tornadoes, and we've always had heat and cold. But to me, and I don't know if there's any research on this. This is just what I've noticed, is that it seems like everything's happening in unison and without warning. Those are the two things that bother me. The tornado that hit my town a couple weeks ago, there was absolutely no warning. They called it a fluke, and it just seemed like the easy way out, just to say it was a fluke. We didn't know. It seems so strange. And then the next day, I think, down in Mexico, they were hit with this horrendous hailstorm. It's like 3 feet of hail. And then we have this earthquake. And then there was another one, and now there may be another one. And Vegas felt it. And yesterday there was many earthquakes in Indonesia, but only one big one. And then, you know, you go into the polar ice caps melting and the heat rising, and then our winters are really bad, and now our summers are really bad, and it's just strange. And I feel that it's a warning to what? I don't know. Maybe it's too late. I don't know. And I don't want to trigger anyone, and I don't want to upset anyone, and I don't want to cause anxiety. So I will put a comment in the title. So if you want to click off of this now, I understand. It's not for everybody to listen to. A lot of times I choose blissful ignorance because I don't want to hear it, or I can't handle it, and that's okay sometimes. You know, you gotta help yourself, and you have to heal yourself, and if we don't heal ourselves, we can't heal the earth, you know. But I do think with the retrogrades and all of this, it's just really hard right now, and I wanted to check in and do some energy. And this is really over spiritual. It's not love or anything like that. This is going to be strictly spiritually speaking and what's going on right now. So without further ado, I'm going to ask my guides and my messengers and my angels to please guide me into this realm of energy field around the earth and the collective, and what we can do and how we can heal, and any advice, any messages regarding all the energy that's going on. This is an energy read. This is an energy read. We've got the Hermit is Virgo. So if we were to do a timeline, will things get better by Virgo season? Or worse? Or the Hermit. What does the Hermit do? The Hermit goes within. The Hermit has his lantern. He doesn't need anything else in the present moment. He needs to go within and look. This says a lot to what I was just saying, is we can't just wake up one morning and decide to save the earth. It starts with each person. There used to be a show, I want to say on Netflix, but it could have been on cable back when I had cable. And it was creepy. I couldn't watch it because it creeped me out. But it was how one person affects, it's your footprint. Each person's footprint adds up to, and I don't mean footprint as in your foot. I mean it's every little thing you do adds up. If everyone in your house does one thing that's not good for the earth, that's a family. If multiple families do it, you know, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it tells you how it affects the earth. Oh, I wish I could remember that. It's something footprint. I will try to look it up and put it in the description below, because that very may well be the message here that we need more people to pay attention to carbon footprint. That's what it is. It's a show about your carbon footprint. It was probably 10 years ago, somewhere around there, when it came out. And I'm thinking of the show that shows what happens to the earth when there's no humans, and it says after 1 year, after 2 years, after 10 years, and they're in New York City, and Mother Nature just overtakes. Trees grow out of buildings, and grass is everywhere. And soon, I mean soon as in 100 years, 200 years, somewhere around there, 1,000 years, the earth takes itself back. And in my second anthropology class I took last semester, I realized a lot that I didn't know. They should teach that stuff in, grade school. But the earth recycles itself every couple million years. The floods, fires, a meteor, it warms up, it kills everything, or it cools everything, ice age. Either way, and then it revamps itself. I feel like that's where we could be right now. Slowly but surely, the earth is taking back what's hers. And so right now, all we can do is try to treat the earth with respect. Do your best to recycle, reuse, lower your carbon footprint. And I'm sure if you Google it or even YouTube carbon footprint, you'll find tons of stuff, tons of ideas, community gardens, tons of stuff. But moving along, that's what I get from this Hermit card. It starts with each of us. Like I said, you can't just wake up one day and say, okay. And Trump, our president, he can't wake up one day and say, okay, we're going to do this and Earth will be saved. Some of the damage is done. We can't reverse all that we have done to this Earth. But we can start today to do our best to move forward. So next to the Hermit, I got Strength in reverse, which, yeah, Earth, the energy's feeling weak right now. We're not feeling as strong as we could be. We're going within, and we're, it's kind of feeding our own energy. Everyone has their way of coping, and it could be healthy or unhealthy. And this is what this is. It's finding your own way of coping, but we're talking about coping in the energy of what's going on right now. And I know just from social media, Twitter, and the comments I've seen on YouTube, how scared people are right now from that earthquake. How scared they're just sitting in their homes waiting for the next one to hit. And then there's fake news going on, clickbait, of warnings of volcanoes coming, and multiple volcanoes. Yosemite and the San Andreas Fault is going to hit 10.0, and it's fake. There's no proof of it coming, but people click it and read it and believe it. And some of those people live right there in LA, in California, in Vegas, near Yosemite. It's feeding the fear, and that's what's going on right now. And I feel it in the energy. Luckily for me, because I do have history of anxiety, I have anxiety still. I'm able to cope with it better now, and this time around, I'm able to differentiate logic and irrational fear. So that's why I'm here trying to help those who maybe are really scared, keep reading these stories and they're not true. You need to look for facts. You know, this guy, I'll link the guy that I've been watching on YouTube. It's, yeah, I can't say the name. It's kind of weird to pronounce, so I'll put it down below. But he's very factual. He has a map, and he just puts the facts out. You know, here's an earthquake. They mark the earthquakes all day long. They have a live feed, and you can see, it alerts you when there's an earthquake, how big it was, where it was. And there's a chat room with some idiots, of course. But he hops on there a couple times a day, updates, says what he's thinking, and he's very factual, very to the, analytical. So I think if you stick to the facts, you'll be okay. You'll feel better. And prepare, of course. So let's see what else is going on. The energy right now. The energy of Mother Earth and the collective who are watching this. So I just had the Five of Cups peek out. If you don't know what the Five of Cups is, so we have the Page of Swords right now. But I saw the Five of Cups peek out, so I feel a need to mention it. It's grief, it's sadness, it's sorrow, it's regret. And I think that fits this energy very well. I think a lot of the collective is regretful. I think we're fearful. I think it's sadness for the earth. I think the earth is sad, you know? But yeah, definitely as a collective, I'm getting regret. You know, it's all these documentaries that come out, and there was one it's on Netflix about plastic. And, you know, when they started making plastic, it was amazing. They used it for everything. And it was so cheap, and you could do everything with plastic. I don't know if they knew back then, but it doesn't, you know, it's not biodegradable. So we're stuck now with billions of plastic, and a lot of it's in our oceans and in the sea with fish, and birds are eating it, and whales are dying. And that's the kind of regret I'm talking about when a lot of people, millions of people, watch those documentaries and see what we've done as a collective. And perhaps we didn't know back then. We thought that it was this good thing, and now it's dangerous and killing, you know, things we need. So I wanted to point that out. We've got the Page of Swords. So we've got this immature kind of thinking where whoever is speaking about, I'll say, climate change, global warming, plastic, natural disasters, whoever's speaking about that as a collective and standing up for that, it's a very immature way of going about it. And once again, I think a lot of people believe it. I think a lot of people probably are naive to the fact, you know, that I could say so many things right now. I'm trying to think of examples. And I'm thinking straws. I'm thinking plastic bags. I'm thinking trash. Oil drilling and oil. Oh, what was the one they did on up in South Dakota? It was a pipeline. I'm thinking of that. It's very naive and immature thought process of why they do these things, and that they're really good for us and they're not bad for the earth, and the earth is going to be here forever, so it doesn't matter. So that's some of the collective popping out here. And then I've got Six of Cups came out. And so we've got reminiscent of the past. We've got, you know, old thoughts, which could go with this Page of Swords, is old thought process of, like I said, there's no such thing as global warming, climate change. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah. And a lot of these people are like old white guys. So they're not going to be here. They don't care. If you care about the future of your grandkids and their grandkids and their grandkids, and as a spiritualist, if you believe that you come back many lifetimes, do you want to reincarnate on this earth when it gets worse and worse and worse and worse? Because I don't. So what I'm saying here is the collective is allowing this old thought process to still stand. Many people have changed their mind and changed their tune. I will say more scientists are coming out and saying this is a problem. But there's still that old thought process that people still believe that we're fine. And then the Eight of Swords fell on the floor. It is reversed, so breaking free from the chains. I feel like this is what needs to happen with the Page of Swords and the Six of Cups, is we need to break free from that old naive thought process. We need to listen to these scientists and change our tune. You know, I'm a almost vegetarian. I eat fish sometimes. But when I became a vegetarian, which it was for health reasons, I did a lot of research, and I never knew how bad it hurts the earth and the air we breathe to have so much meat and kill so much meat and have so many cows roaming. To put it lightly, I don't remember the statistic off the top of my head. I can put that down below too if you'd like. You know, I think Harvard, I want to say Harvard or Yale did a study, and cows on, I believe, just America, give off so much carbon dioxide from, or methane from their gas that they expel, that it puts more methane in our air that we breathe than all the cars in the world. I'll put that statistic down there. But how disgusting is that? That's how many cows are on this earth just for meat. Which is, you know, I did a public speaking persuasion that I had to do for my class. So I had to do a persuasive speech. And I did it on vegetarianism. and I just did some statistics, and it came out to like a crazy number. If you were just to do meatless Mondays, the amount of steak, which would be cows, you would save, steak, ground beef, whatever, just from skipping Mondays, you know. Going back to my anthropology class, my professor asked us what the number one thing people would find in a million years from us. You know, and we had all different cars, houses, you know, computers, phones. No, chickens. Chicken bones. He said the amount of chicken bones that we've already added to the trash that will be here in a million years is astronomical. So yeah, that's just another way, you know, another idea to help. You don't have to become a full-blown vegetarian. You don't even have to go totally vegetarian. It's just meatless Monday, no cow. But yeah, so once again, if you don't agree with anything I'm saying, you can turn this off. But I just felt the need to put this out here because I feel like, you know, Mother Earth is really in distress right now. So Two of Pentacles just fell out, and that's juggling. What are we juggling? I mean, you can see him, the water's there, there's a rainbow, there's clouds, there's the moon, there's a dolphin, which we were talking about, eating plastic. And to me, this is the collective, and we're wondering what we can do. We're wondering, do we sit and wait? We're wondering, it's just me, so I can't change, just me can't change the world, you know? And that's the mindset we need to get out of. Don't ignore it, and don't think that you are alone. There's many countries that follow strict rules on trash, on using cars, and all that kind of stuff. And we're just a little behind. Like I said, with the Page of Swords and Six Cups, we're just in that naive that we'll be fine. Seven of Cups reverse. So, like I said, again, we're in this not wanting to believe, not wanting to accept the fact of what we've done as a collective to this earth. And that's kind of the warning too, is you're ignoring this. Yeah. King of Pentacles reversed, very lazy, just refusing to do anything. Just refusing, okay? Just, this is our warning. You know, wake up and do something about it. Wake up and make a difference. Do something. You might think it's minuscule, but it's not. It's when you're walking and you see a old trash can, or not trash can, a piece of trash on the ground at the park, and you walk right by it. If there's a trash can nearby, pick it up and throw it in there, you know? If you smoke cigarettes, think about quitting, but don't throw your cigarettes out the window. I know in Canada it's illegal, but I see it in front of me all the time, and it makes me sick. I see people throwing all kinds of stuff out their car window. It's disgusting. recycle, plant a tree. These are things one person can do, and a lot of them are free, you know. Any other advice for the energy right now? Collective energy right now. Lots of anxiety right now, like I said. There's lots of anxiety, and it's due to these earthquakes. Sorry. And I don't think it's going to change for a few days until it's for sure that the seismic activity has stopped or slowed down, and the energy building under the earth is very strong right now still, so there's still a chance for another big earthquake. The Chariot, she comes in quick. She's from a distance, but she comes in quick and she comes up victorious. And will we as a collective come up victorious? I don't know. I'd like to hope so. I'd like to say yes, but we have to change our tune. The earth will always come out victorious one way or another. We may not make the cut, you know. It is dependent on what we do from here on out. And we each need to look at our own selves and figure out what I can do to make Earth healthier. So she's sick. She's sick and tired and wants to give up, like a lot of us feel right now. And yes, it's the planets and Mercury retrograde and all that, but more so, you can tell, just look at the weather patterns right now. It's bad. So, with that, I'm going to end this. And my main message here, I think I've made the point, is think about how you can lessen your carbon footprint and how you can help heal Earth. And in turn, this will heal you. We are all energy. We are connected to the earth in one way or another. When we die, we are put in the ground and we disintegrate into earth. Our body is put back, and our soul, you know, does it go into a tree? Does it go into the sky? It's whatever you believe, but we're energy, just like the earth is energy. And energy is crazy right now. So take with this what you will. I hope you all are doing well and holding up, and just know we're all in this together. And I'll be back in a couple more days to check in and see how everything goes, and hopefully people are starting to feel better soon. But with that, I'm going to say goodbye, and I hope you guys all have a good night. Bye.